Kaitlyn Bristowe alleges footage from Zach's season was off. Recchia asked fans to be gracious towards leads, and Chris Harrison believes producers considered bringing him back. Hey guys, welcome back to Shared News. We're going to be breaking down the biggest Bachelor Nation headlines of the week. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. I'm your host, Zachary Reality, with Kayla Thompson. Kayla, happy Friday. How are you doing today?
Happy Friday, Zach. I'm doing good. It's been a long week. I feel like I always say that. Every week feels long, I guess, but happy to be, here on a Friday talking to you. It's been a minute since I've seen you, I feel like. So I'm just excited to talk with you and hang out.
Yeah, I'm excited to gossip and chat with you as well. It's
Mhm.
raining here in Los Angeles. It's literally pouring. So I'm kind of happy about that because I
Really?
just want to be able to get my work done on Friday so that I can
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Now I don't
Mm.
feel like I have to go outside. So I'm
Mhm.
like, let me get my work
Yeah. I can
done
just
and get
be in
ready
the
for the
house and chill. And
weekend. Yeah.
yes, love that.
So we got to get through these headlines. And Kaitlyn Bristowe really
Yes.
shocked people when she dropped this bomb on her podcast. She was talking about Zach's season and how he got COVID and he was quarantined, and there was some video footage of him, laying down, being sick and all. And Kaitlyn says when they show Zach's B-roll of Zach, he really doesn't look like he's doing too bad despite the dramatic footage of him blowing his nose. You remember him? He's in
Mhm.
his hotel room in the bed blowing
Yes.
his nose.
Oh, I
He's got a
remember.
little
Yes.
fake cup of tea. That's a hotel in
Mhm.
LA. Caitlyn alleges it's the hotel they always put
Mm.
all of their people in when they do after the final rose or the women tell all, and that's where
Okay.
they stay in this very specific bed that has the writing on the back. So what did you make about this? Does this mean he really
Okay.
got COVID? What was your theories?
Oh, no, I think he really did get COVID. I think it's just, they realized maybe we need B-roll footage of him not feeling well to go with the voiceover and kind of it's a TV show. They have to produce a visual television show. We can't just, be told he has COVID. I think it helped. So I assumed that they were filming this after he got sick. I didn't know it was way after to the point of he's in LA. That's fascinating to me. But yeah, when I was watching this past episode and I saw that section, I was dying laughing because I was like, first of all, Zach is not sick in this moment. He's totally fine. And two, he was just so awkwardly in the corner of the room. Then he walks over to the foot of the bed. Then he sits down and he gets up. And then he's like, this is so staged. I was dying laughing, to be honest, because I knew he was totally fine at this moment of filming. So I think it makes sense that they have to do things like that when they're producing a reality show. But yeah, I think he definitely still had COVID. I mean, we saw him so upset about losing time, and the way they set up the virtual stuff, it was pretty thrown together and kind of raggedy. So I don't think they would make that up. But yeah, Kaitlyn Bristowe knows the tea. She knows how it goes on the show. So that's an interesting little tidbit she added.
Yeah, thanks for dropping some tea, Caitlin. From some tea,
I
sis.
know.
Yeah, I guess that they probably couldn't film Zach when he had COVID because he was probably quarantining from the producers as well.
Exactly.
I mean, who knows how long he was actually
Mhm.
locked in the hotel room. So I guess they had to do some extra B-roll, like Caitlin said, which is, and if you don't know what B-roll is, it's basically just video footage with the confessionals in the background or just audio of a different situation, kind of like how you would see Zach pacing in London or wherever he is. So thanks for the tea.
Right.
I don't really think this means anything anything crazy. He still had COVID, he was still sick.
No.
um Glad he's
Yeah.
feeling better. And did you know, Kayla, the Women Tell All is taping today?
Is it taping? I was wondering, we're getting towards the end of the season. I'm wondering when they're going to
Mm.
start taping Women Tell All. So, yeah, I totally forgot until yeah, you just said something. So that's fascinating. Are you going? What's up? Cuz I feel like
Oh, psh,
you
I
got
don't
the,
even care.
in.
I'm so
Listen,
unattached from
I
Bachelor
feel
this
that.
season. I'm covering it. I'm not looking at spoilers.
Right.
I'm not caring about the extra stuff. I
Mm,
mean, this season is just not
true.
it for me. It's not good. But I mean, I still enjoy it a
Really?
little
I didn't
bit.
know you didn't think it was good.
Yeah, I just don't feel connected to Zach at all. Even I've tried to give him a chance 5
Yeah.
episodes in. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I can't say that I'm
Sure.
rooting for his love story. And, the girls I felt connected to left early.
Mm.
I was connected to Brianna. I
Yeah.
liked Bailey. I loved
Yeah.
Christina. So it's just been kind of hard to
Mhm.
keep up when I still don't know anyone's name
Yeah.
besides Katie and Gabby. Those are the only two, and Charity. Those are the
No,
only
it's
girls I know. And
yes.
Greer.
Right, same
Okay, I
for
guess I
me.
know half of
I
them.
I I kind of you yeah, I must say you dropped some names of right now. Yeah, I can feel how you feel. I mean, I think it's interesting. I respect Zach as a bachelor so far and kind of the way he's
For
approaching this
sure.
season and the way that they're producing this season. But yeah, it's just different. And I think I don't know if I don't feel like attached to to him or like his relationship with any of the women yet. I feel like I don't know what's up with that, but it's been an interesting season to watch. It's a little like jarring, I guess, in a way, but but Paradise is gonna be your season because all them girls you just named that
Mhm.
you loved, they're gonna see the beach for sure.
Yes, Paradise will be good. Maybe the next Bachelor will be good. I mean, like I said, like you said, we respect
True.
Zach, but this season's I think it's just going to be a forgettable one. I think we're going to look back in a year and be like, oh, yeah, that season happened.
Right.
Unless there's something crazy that happens at
Very
the
true.
end, but we haven't seen any trailers or teasers that are enlightening us with any excitement. So who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, yeah.
But somebody who seems to be
Who
watching
knows?
this season is Rachel, former Bachelorette. Now, we did notice that Zach got some backlash on the most recent episode for the way he handled things with career. So Rachel tweeted, "Let's all be mindful and extend a little bit of compassion and grace towards the leads of the show." And this was kind of shocking just because Zach did throw her under the bus a little bit while promoting his season and talking about their breakup. So are you surprised that Rachel is being the bigger person? Or do we think that she's, talking about something else? Somebody else?
She totally could be talking about something or someone else. No,
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah, because I've been aware of Rachel kind of her feelings of why is he talking about me? I think we even talked about that on a panel recently. And but it's a pleasant surprise because I think that Rachel's showing like, hey, I'm a little peeved that I'm being because even I think in the episode in this episode or the last one, Zach even mentioned something like, the last person I was dating, they weren't who I thought they were. It's like he's still kind of will bring reference Rachel, and I'm like, ooh. But yeah, to see that she does, yeah, it's okay for her to be upset, but it's also, fair and in a it's normal for her to also be like, okay, but let's not go crazy. Let's have grace for these leads. I've been in that position myself. And it's hard, you're tired, you're run down. I mean, he's clearly was sick, he's irritated. Like, there's a lot going on, loss of sleep. You're trying to balance all these relationships. Yeah, the lead goes through a lot. And you know, he's young. I don't know. He's our age, but whatever. Yeah, I think it's nice to hear that Rachel is like, hey, he's also a human. Like, let's be kind, but didn't expect to hear it from her for sure.
I mean, what are fans supposed to say? Like, we watched the conversation with Greer. It was so uncomfortable. It didn't seem like maybe it was a
Mm.
miscommunication. Maybe he was upset. It's normal for fans to react and be upset with him after the way he treated Greer during that FaceTime. I mean, he can make it up to her. They can talk about it in person. He can apologize next episode, and the fans can forgive him. But it's normal to have that
Mhm.
reaction as viewers who are invested in the
Yeah,
season. So I think there's just like a way to go
so true.
about it. And of course, the trolls on the internet will never, they're going to be trolls because that's just what they do. So,
Listen,
I mean,
Bachelor
Zach
Nation for
Clayton had it
sure.
a lot
Ugh.
worse.
Clayton really did. And Bachelor Nation has strong opinions. I think for me, the separate situation with Greer was icky. He was wrong. He definitely snapped on her for no reason. If that was Katie or Catherine or Charity or Gabby, he would not have responded that way. So it's just like, I agree, but I think at the same time, he's not a horrible human being. We don't have to dump on him. We don't have to like completely throw him out the window because he made a mistake. I think it's interesting also that they're filming Women Tell All today because this episode came out the past few days. I think he'll have an opportunity to at least apologize to her at the Women Tell All because let's be honest, Greer's not making it to hometowns. So
You never
yeah,
know,
we'll have to see
honestly.
what happens on Women Tell All, and yeah, my opinion. So,
Yeah, and I like that Rachel is being the bigger person. Even if you want to question her, it's still a
mhm,
positive tweet. So let's just see it for what it is. Our
yes,
last topic of the day
yeah.
is that Chris Harrison believes there has been conversations about potentially bringing him back. Now, Radar Online originally came out with the story that they were considering bringing him back, and then executives shut down that rumor immediately. And then Chris Harrison talked about it on his podcast this week, the most dramatic pod ever. He said, "They've seen my response in social media. They're not deaf to all of that. They've seen what's happening. So I am shocked these conversations are happening. It would not be a surprise. In fact, I would not be shocked if these conversations were happening about potentially bringing him back just because the numbers are so far down and it could just be a conversation." Do you think they're ever going to bring him back? Do you think Chris is like hoping they ask him back?
I think Chris being the main mouthpiece for this story is something to take note of, because what that story or that headline, that rumor kind of only benefits him. If you tracking with me, like he's the one who would benefit from, like, oh
True.
yeah, wow, they really want Chris. Chris is so great. So of course
Mhm.
Chris is gonna push that story, you know. So for Bachelor to be like, we never said that, like I'm sure someone maybe mentioned like, would you ever think about bringing Chris? But I don't. They did so much work to find, get Tasha and Kaitlyn thrown in there. Then they're switching over to Jesse. They got Jesse. He's doing a good job. And, honestly, even with, let's take Jesse, like he's doing fine. But let's be honest, like the host does not make the show. Like he comes out there for a minute and a half and then he's gone. Like I kind of forget that there's a host most of the time until he comes into the room. So, Chris, God bless you have a podcast. Just do that and stop trying to. I don't know. I just feel like he just needs to move on. I don't really get why he's constantly talking about it, but I just don't think I don't buy it. I don't think they were considering bringing him back because I don't think it'll move the needle on the numbers at all.
I don't think they
Yeah.
were ever gonna bring him back either. I don't even think they would consider it. Like, I understand
Yeah.
that, there are a lot of people tuning into Chris. I think there's a lot of fans that wanted him back and were upset the way everything went down. There's no denying he still has a fan base, but I think after everything that happened, it just wouldn't
Sure.
make sense to bring him back. He already got the payout. Let's just move on. I
Exactly.
agree. Yeah, I don't think he's going to come back.
Mhm.
I think the show needs to do a lot of other things if they want to bring back ratings. And I honestly think that they do have
Yeah.
potential for Paradise if they bring back some of the OGs. Like, I don't really know if The Bachelorette will be good this season if they bring in one of these new girls, since there's so many people who aren't watching, so we're not as connected. But if they bring back an OG, like maybe Susie, that could be a good Bachelorette. And then I think for Paradise, it would be
As the
great to see
Bachelorette.
like Michelle, Rachel, maybe
Mm.
Clayton, Nate. Like they could bring
Yeah.
back some pretty interesting people.
No, that's a really good point. I think they need some heavy hitters to come in. I mean, out of the pool of girls so far, I think it'd be cool to see maybe Charity, but I still haven't seen enough of her to really be like, oh my God, I'm so invested. So I think, yeah,
Yeah.
A Susie or someone who maybe was the Bachelorette already and they didn't, still are single, bring them back. I don't know. But, on the point of ratings too, I think it's important to keep in mind that like right now on TV, it's hard to really track ratings with streaming. A lot of people watch The Bachelor the next day on Hulu and they don't have cable anymore. So it's like that conversation about ratings is kind of like it's here, neither here nor there. But I think for the show, in terms of we obviously know what fans think, we are on social media, we talk about the show.
Hmm.
So, people are like, all right, you gave me one thing, I wasn't really liking it. Now you give me something else. Let's balance it out. Let's find like a new happy medium for everything. I think they have a lot of work to do, but I have high hopes. I think we'll have to see how it
Well,
all shakes out for
thank
this
you for your
franchise.
take. And I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what happens the rest of the season. So we'll be making sure to break it all down. Definitely let us know your thoughts on these Bachelor headlines and who do you guys think is going to make the top 4? We're getting down to hometowns. It's probably only a couple weeks away now. So leave your comments below
Mm.
and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you're updated on all things Bachelor Nation. I'm your host Zachary Reality with
Kayla Thompson. And thank you guys so much for watching. You can follow us on social media. Our handles should be on the screen. And we'll see you guys in the next one.